This is Life in the 1900s newspapers, where I read the actual words from vintage newspapers. Today, we're stepping back in time to the year 1930. We will be focusing on 1930s transportation, trains, automobiles, motorcycles, and those daring young men and women in their aeroplanes. Oh, hold on tight. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Today, we're traveling to California and reading the Fresno Morning Republican, dated Saturday, November 15th, 1930. Let's start with this front page story about a couple of Fresno fishermen. Two Fresnoans of an artistic turn of temperament are wondering how long they can remain that way. So far, they have never been in jail, if records are to be believed, but they are making no promises. It all hinges on a little fishing trip they made recently. They had everything good fishermen should have. Well, almost everything. They had their licenses and all their tackle. At catching fish, they found the artistic temperament did not hinder them in making a good catch. But when they started home, they found there was just one thing they should have had which they didn't have. When their car wouldn't start for the trip home, they quickly found out that the one thing they were missing was a supply of gasoline. They knew a man who rented boats was stationed just a mile or so away, so they headed for his retreat. He welcomed them with a smile, which indicated he was ready to rent them a boat. But they got right down to business and told him what they wanted was gasoline. "Now that's strange," said the boatman. "You know, about 2 months ago, a Fresno physician was out here fishing, and he ran out of gasoline too. He had to hike and get some gas, and when he came back, he brought a 5-gallon can of gasoline, which he left here to be used in emergency just as yours." "Fine," chirped the artistic pair. "Let us have it, and name your price, for it's several miles to the nearest service station, and we are in a hurry to get our fish to Fresno and in the frying pan." "Now, just a minute," said the boatman. "Wait, nothing," said the pair. "Name your price." "Ain't no price." "That's fine, too, but we want to pay you." "Well, you see, it's this way," the man said. "Only a day or two ago, 2 other men got stuck out here without gasoline, so I let them have it." All conversation after that has been deleted, but it is on record that as the two drudged the several miles to get gasoline and the several other miles to get back to their machine, neither spoke endearingly of the boatman. Next time, try the train. Relax.
Breakfast of all, with cantaloupe served in Kansas and coffee in Colorado. America's favorite meal served against America's favorite setting. The splintered peaks of the Rockies stand off to watch as a slipstream dream of stainless steel hits the Silver State on time.
Sports writer flukes out as motor critic. San Francisco. Today's best laugh is at the expense of Jack McDonald, the eminent San Francisco sports writer. he failed to qualify as an amateur motor mechanic. This is why. He bought an old Arbite Sprightly automobile for station-to-home purposes. MacDonald, being a suburbanite, it cost him $35. One day it didn't function properly. After carefully inspecting the engine, he decided there was a knock in the machinery. He took it to a garage and told the mechanic to remove the engine knock. The mechanic took the car out for a test and discovered a flat rear tire.
He just hasn't got as much automobile. Such a car might have getaway like a motorcycle, but it would be light too like a motorcycle. And it wouldn't have the comfort, quietness, roadability, and smoothness everyone wants. Then too, a fast start at one corner often means a quick stop at the next. These are the problems of power, weight, and speed which have to be worked out. No matter how you use your car, on country roads or on city streets, you want to get going. You want getaway, balanced with weight for comfort, durability, and safety. You want good acceleration, balanced with smoothness and economy. When weight and power are properly balanced, an automobile will get going fast under the toughest conditions that can be found. It's a well-known fact that no car has ever before climbed this hill, a breathtaking grade in the San Fernando Valley region used exclusively for motorcycle stunts. It's a stiff test of power for any car to make it with a running start, and a real job of acceleration to climb it from a standing start. So here goes. It takes steering control to keep that course. It takes weight, and plenty of it, to keep those wheels from slipping. It takes power and weight and real acceleration to pull over the top.
Small crowd gathers to wish Cards bon voyage. St. Louis. Scarcely more than 100 persons saw the Cardinals off late today when a special train over the Pennsylvania Railroad left Union Station for Philadelphia. Travelers awaiting trains were attracted by the illuminated Cardinal emblem on the observation car and swelled the number who shouted farewells. Another special train for fans left at 6 o'clock. The Athletics special train left 2 hours later.
Of course, it's all in the viewpoint. The planes must be light and fast so they can be easily maneuvered. They've got to be quick on the climb. About 2 miles up, most of the riding is done. At that height, the wind is steady. In a gentle breeze, words will drift 10 or 20 miles before they break up. And the writing is done horizontally, the way you'd write on a desk, and not up and down as it appears from the ground. To make it trickier, they have to write backwards or upside down, depends on how you look at it. So it will be right side up to you on the ground. When he writes it, this is the way it looks to the skywriter. And this is what happens when 3 smoke riders go into action at once. They've got to give each other elbow room. But then, it's a pretty big slate. Phew! Looked like a collision that time. Had to be mighty close timing on that one. But what? These chaps had to do about all the stunts known to aviation to make all those little turns and twists. vertical banks. Loops. And Immelman turns. That calls for pretty good pilots and sharp eyes to follow them. But when the weather is right and they've finished a good job, the smoke riders get a big thrill and enough satisfaction to make up for all the duds and floaters that result from wind and clouds. A human bumblebee buzzes across the sky. 1,000,000 cubic feet of smoke left hanging in the blue each minute like a long white rope. But remember, there are a lot of people looking over your shoulder, so don't start writing love letters in the sky.
Now showing at the Warner Brothers Fresno Theater, the home of the Vitaphone. Adventure calls, romance beckons, the salt tang of the open sea, the wind sings through the rigging. New Bedford, to a man set sail to fight the scourge of the seven seas. Mr. John Barrymore in the greatest of all classics, Moby Dick, or The White Whale, with Joan Bennett. Hey, while you're checking things out, why don't you try checking out my second YouTube channel, Life in the 1800s Newspapers. Much obliged.